Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our business meeting. Today's date is June 17th, 2025. The time is 2 p.m. In attendance are Commissioners Eberline, Duncan, and Matari. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we will begin with a moment of silence. Okay, next up is the pledge. JP, could I get you to start us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Public comment? Hearing none. Meeting minutes, I'll take a motion to approve them.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari?
Aye. Consent calendar?
I move that we approve the consent calendar items 8 through 12.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari?
Aye. Payables list?
I move that we approve the payables for the timeframe of June 9 through 13, 2025, in the amount of $723,496.16, and jury panel payments in the amount of $1,400.92.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari?
Aye. Motion carries. Next up is our business, item 14, bid award. This is bid number Informal Recyclables Processing Agreement Solid Waste. And we have Director John Phillips.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Phillips for the record. The Solid Waste Department, with the assistance from Juvenile Homes, recently solicited for recycling services from Sunshine Disposal, Waste Management, and Republic Services. Republic Services and Waste Management, doing business as Bluebird Recycling, both submitted written proposals. After a review, it was determined that Bluebird Recycling submitted the bid that had the lowest processing costs and greatest revenue sharing for the department. Kootenai County Solid Waste recommends entering into agreement with Waste Management, doing business as Bluebird Recycling, for the purpose of processing the solid waste department's recyclable materials. If approved, the term of this contract is October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2030.
Thank you. Questions, comments, motion?
I move that we approve or award the bid to Bluebird Recycle for the recyclables processing with solid waste.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari?
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, item 15, bid award bid number 2025-03, surplus property. It's a transfer of trailers, solid waste. And Director Phillips again.
Again, John Phillips for the record. The Solid Waste Department recently solicited bids for 5 surplus transfer trailers. 2 companies bid on those trailers. One of the companies, Premier Industries, supplied 4 out of 5 of the highest bids, with one tie at $1,000 for one of the trailers. We sought advice from legal counsel, in which they indicated that it's up to the board to decide who would win that tiebreaker. In this event, I contacted the bidder and discussed whether they'd be interested, and the other bidder as well, whether they'd be interested in giving up their right to the other trailer. And so Cannon Hill said that they would pull the bid and allow the other company to receive all if the board felt so compelled to do so. So the Solid Waste Department does recommend awarding the bid of all 5 transfer trailers to Premier Industries, since they were the highest bidder on 4 out of 5.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
Do you want to take that one? Or
Yes, which one's this?
Premier, it's item 25.
25.
15.
I'm sorry, 15.
Bid award, bid 2025/03, surplus property, transfer trailers, solid waste.
To Premier Industries.
To Premier Industries.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye, motion carries. Next up, item 16, financial budget. This is a purchase approval for property, Kootenai Electric Company, AIN 339780. It's with solid waste, and Director Phillips again.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Phillips again for the record. The Solid Waste Department has been offered the opportunity to buy back 8.08 acres of property that we formerly owned near the landfill for 95% of appraised value. This property is located directly east of the landfill's main entrance and could be used for a wide variety of needs, including buffer area, equipment storage, contractor staging, and/or options for future consolidation of the rural sites in the future. The buffer value alone would make this, does make this proximity, and the proximity to the landfill makes it worth it and a very good investment for the county. Because of this, the Solid Waste Department recommends entering into agreement with Kootenai Electric for the purchase of this vacant property, AIN 339780, consisting of that approximate 8 acres for a total purchase price of $248,900. If approved, in addition, Jamila Holmes recommended that I would ask that Commissioner Duncan be approved by the board to serve as the authorized signer for matters related to this transaction.
Well, I don't have any problem with that.
Fine.
So unless there's any questions, make a motion.
I move that we approve the purchase of property from Kootenai Electric, AIN 339780, 8 acres for $248,900, authorizing Commissioner Duncan to sign.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Next up, item 17. This is an agreement, Transit Technology Solutions, Passio Technologies, and our Transit Department. And do we have Chad Engel on the telephone?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel with the Transit Department for the record. We are seeking approval to enter into a 5-year contract with Passio Technologies to continue providing transit technology for our fixed route, paratransit, and demand response services. Passio is already fully integrated into our fleet, and we have been using them previously, and legal has reviewed.
Any questions?
No, I'll just point out that there is a non-appropriation clause and a termination for convenience.
Thank you. That was my question about appropriations. Motion?
I move that we approve the agreement for Transit Technology Solutions with Passio Technologies.
Nay.
I'll second it just because this is part of their operations right now. We have some opportunities for discussing responsibilities with transit. So I'll second that motion.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye. Nay.
No, nay, yeah. Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye, motion carries. Next up is item 18. This is a board approval request, 2025 FTA certifications and assurances with our Transit Department. And Chad Engel again.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel with the Transit Department for the record again. So we are requesting board approval for the annual self-certification of the 2025 FTA certifications and assurances. This is a requirement from the Federal Transit Administration and must be completed each fiscal year to apply for or amend any federal grant awards. Approval will allow us to move forward with the fiscal year 25 application process in compliance with regulations. Legal has reviewed and has no concern at this time.
And this is obviously annual, so we would be doing this again next year, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And are there other annual certifications that are similar to this that we'll be addressing?
Not for FTA.
Okay, thank you. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve the 2025 FTA certifications and assurances with Transit.
Nay.
Again, from my earlier comment, so I'll second the motion.
Commissioner Eberline?
Nay.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up is Kootenai County Public Transportation Festival Agreement with Post Falls Parks and Recreation, again with our Transit Department. And Chad, you want to take this?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel with Transit Department for the record. We are seeking approval to provide transportation for the public going to the Post Falls Festival, being put on by the Post Falls Parks and Recreation Department. The city is expected to cover transportation costs. This agreement has been reviewed by legal.
So the city will be paying for the cost of the drivers and the fuel?
Yeah, just like last year, and that's what's expected, correct? Yep.
All right, thank you. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the Kootenai County Public Transportation Festival Agreement with the City of Post Falls Parks and Rec.
Nay.
Well, this is a continuation, so I will second this motion.
Commissioner Eberline,
Nay.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Next up, item 20, FY26 Housing Agreement with Benewah County and our Juvenile Detention, and Director Eric Sheffield.
We can do through 23 if you like.
You want to include the other,
Yeah.
so Benewah County, Boundary County, Latah County, and Shoshone County, and that is items 20, 21, 22, and 23 respectively.
Thank you, Commissioner. Eric Sheffield here, Juvenile Detention. Yes, all four agreements are the same, different counties. Latah, Boundary, Benewah, and Shoshone. I'm requesting renewal of housing agreements with those counties. There are only two significant changes to terms since these were last signed. Prior agreements auto-renewed annually. The proposed agreement term is 3 years unless terminated or amended. And the daily housing rate has increased from $150 a day to $225 a day. Terms have been reviewed by legal.
Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the FY26 housing agreements for juvenile detention with Benewah County, Boundary County, Latah County, and Shoshone County.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Thank you. That were motions 20, or actually items 20, 21, 22, and 23. On to 24. 911 Department Environment Control Cleaning Services Business Proposal. This is environmental control with 911 and Lieutenant Jeff Howard.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Lieutenant Jeff Howard for the record. We're asking to enter a new janitorial service agreement with environmental control. The current company that we are using is not providing a standard cleaning environment that they had agreed to. So we're asking to move to a new company that the Sheriff's Office campus is using at the new SO North. They've been vetted and seem to provide a much better service for a comparable cost.
Questions?
Yes. Do we need to notify the other company of the cancellation of the contract, or do we just let it expire?
No, we'll have to notify them. That's why it would be at the end of July for us before we can make the switch. But before I do, I need your approval so I can not be without services.
Sure.
So I'll make a motion to go with 911 Department Environmental Control Cleaning Services Proposal Environmental Control 911.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye, and that's to begin services on August 1, with your existing services
Yes.
ending on July 31.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next up.
Thank you.
Item 25, Board Approval Request. This is FAMA Social Media Screening Addendum. It's with the Sheriff's Office and Captain Andy Deek. Are you on the telephone?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Before you, we are seeking an addendum for FAMA services, which is a social media component to the current background software that we use. We have an existing license with Miller Mendel Incorporated. Their subsidiary is called ESOF, and that's the program we use. This component will allow us to do, basically it's an AI search engine for us to utilize with applicants when they come in to look for harassment trends, intolerance, any sexual deviancy, violence, threats, crime, drug use, anything like that. As you know, the web is massive. It'll track all that for us without us having to do manual searches, save a ton of time. It is a per-use item, so when we have an applicant that we're nearly finished with, it'll cost us $22 to have that search done. And his contract has been approved by legal, and it is terminable at will. There's no 30-day notice or anything like that, and it's in addition to what we currently have. And we do have it in the budget to pay for it.
Thank you. Questions?
Thank you.
I'll make a motion for board approval of request FMA social media screening addendum, Sheriff's Office.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up.
Thank you.
Item 26, lease termination AAL-2022-2600 due to a hangar sale with Sensor Avenue LLC. And we could go ahead and probably run at the same time. The ground lease, this is item 27, for AAL-2025-1400, which is a hangar purchase by Elevate CDA LLC. And I have Kim Stevenson on the telephone.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Kim Stevenson with the airport for the record. We are requesting a termination and a new ground lease for a hangar sale of a recently finished construction hangar. It is 15,400 square feet, and the new annual revenue will be $4,034.80.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
Okay. So lease termination, AAL 2022-2600 hangar sale, Sensor Avenue LLC, and also ground lease AAL 2025-1400 hangar purchase, Elevate CDA LLC.
Second.
Airport.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, item 28. This is a lease amendment for AAL-2020-998. It's Amendment 1, and the agreement is with Fightertown LLC and Kim Stevenson again.
Kim Stevenson again for the record. The lessee here is looking for approval on amendment number 1 and an agreement. This document outlines expectations and restrictions for the lessee to operate as a specialized aeronautical service operator for self-service fuel. And it also states the lessee's desire to work towards the requirements to become an FBO here at the airport.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
Gosh, you're going to get the cool one for Fightertown.
I move that we approve the lease amendment AAL 2020-998 amendment number 1 and agreement with Fightertown LLC.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, item 29, board approval request. This is for invoice number 5726. It's payment approval for FY26 compensation study with Thompson Consulting Group and our Human Resources Department and Lexi Pack.
Thanks, Commissioners. Lexi Pack for the record, kind of exactly what the title's saying. I'm requesting approval for invoice 5726 for Thompson Consulting Group. This was for our FY26 compensation project.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
I make a motion for board approval, request invoice 5726, payment approval fiscal year 26 compensation study, Thompson Consulting Group, Human Resources.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Lexi. Next up, item 30, Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Fire District Annexation. This is Old Dominion Freight Line, Inc., 51N06W-36-7700. It's a BOCC item, and we have our own Dave Ferguson here.
Well, Commissioners, like you said, this is a request for annexation for a property owned by Old Dominion Freight Line into the Kootenai County Fire District. It qualifies. The properties adjacent to currently annexed property, and looks like the fire district followed all of the procedural requirements for publishing and having a meeting and approving it. So it should be approved for annexation.
Thank you. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Fire District annexation for Old Dominion Freight Line, Inc., and this is 51 North, 06 West, 36-7700.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye, motion carries. Next up, this is actually the public hearing. It's a resolution 2025-45. It's a fee increase for dedicated ambulance standby rate for events. And we have our prosecuting attorney civil division, Pat Braden.
Yeah, I'm going to just introduce Tracy Abrahamson. She's the Director of Finance for the EMS system, and she can speak to the requested fee increase, rate increase.
Thank you, Commissioners. We are requesting an increase to our standby rate from $165 up to $261.85. This was taken to our Joint Powers Board for Kootenai County EMS and was approved. The reason that we're doing this is the fire districts came forward and said the rate of $165 is not enough to cover our overtime callback rates. So we did an analysis and we came up with the $261.85. We're asking for approval.
Any questions?
Yes, how do you do that? Is that per person, per claim, per?
A standby rate is for 2 personnel, usually a paramedic and EMT, and an ambulance for an hour.
Okay.
Good. Any other questions? Is there anyone who would like to give testimony to speak for the fee increase?
I'm in favor.
Anybody on the telephone? Going once. Anybody want to speak for the fee increase? Anybody want to speak against the fee increase? Pat? Anyone want to speak against the fee increase? Anyone online? Well, then I will take a motion to end testimony and enter into deliberations.
I move that we end public testimony and enter into deliberations.
Second.
Commissioner Eberline,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chair Matari.
Aye. Okay. Thoughts?
It's not as much as we could have charged, but it is definitely going to go a long way to help make these districts whole when they are providing these services to private organizations.
Yeah, I think the only thing is just to try to keep these rates updated frequently so you don't have these huge jumps that kind of look like, well, someone's not paying attention because we've kept this low rate for so long, and we're undercharging.
How long has it been?
I don't know, but presumably long enough that they figured out that
We raised it to 165 about a year ago, so it wasn't until recently the fire districts came forward and said, hey, this isn't
Yeah.
enough, and they hadn't done that in quite a few years.
yeah. So it sounds like it was just a newer methodology to take into over time. But, this is what it costs. So we should be charging what it costs. Otherwise, the taxpayer is subsidizing these events. So unless there is an objection, I'll take a motion to approve it.
I move that we approve Resolution 2025-45, which is a fee increase for dedicated ambulance standby rates for events.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Eberline?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chair Matari?
Aye.
Don't make
Motion
it so
carries.
long the next time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, public comment. Come on down.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Ron Hartman for the record. This is addressing business items 17 through 19 with regard to the transit. I think these three business items show that there are hidden costs that don't get captured to operate transit. Also, the festival agreement is a perfect example of why the cities need to take this over. And the county shouldn't be involved in that sort of stuff. And the other thing that needs to happen here, because this stuff just keeps pulling you in with contract after contract, after certification, after buying stuff. You guys need to set a deadline if the cities are gonna take this or not. Because if you don't set a deadline, it'll never happen. And there needs to be a deadline set pretty soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public comment? Anybody on the telephone? 2:26, meeting adjourned.